Yo, what's up? So, anybody who don't, well, people, nobody, really knows what I'm doing right now. But just wanted to explain real quick of what my writing, um, style topic matter is. So basically, my name is A Wolf. The letter A, Wolf, as in, wild wolf. Um, or A wild wolf. I want to explain my topic matter. So my site is called Beauty X Vibes, right? So the beauty component, it's not like beauty as in makeup. It's like beauty as in the beautiful things of life, like a beautiful sunset, or the beauty that you see when you look at yourself, or the beauty that is just symbolic of life. Excuse me. Well, the vibes part is more. It's not talking about vibes in like a esoteric type of way, but more so it's vibes is more symbolic as in basically just, how do I explain it? Basically just how you are living your life. Basically it's life in the more philosophical sense, right? An explanation of why you're doing the things you do, where a beauty side is on the sight manner, more as in the beauty that you see, right? It's like how I split it up for the site is Beauty X Vibes. So if you go on the site, you'll see pictures which represent the human component, but the vibes is more like my writing, which my writing is typically not related to every picture that I choose, but the pictures that I choose, if you go on Beauty X Vibes, if you have time, the pictures that I choose are kind of representative of basically what I'm kind of around the bracket of what I'm saying, or if my writing is more abstract, it'll be more kind of like an experience, right? So some of my writing is very straightforward. Some of my writing is very cryptic in a way. And I kind of like that because it's more, my basis is I want to create art in word form, right? So I don't want to just write normal stuff that just whatever. My whole basis is, as a writer for myself, I want to create things that are different, things that kind of stretch the boundaries of writing. Kind of, and I keep saying stretch the boundaries, but what I mean by that is kind of just take the mode that we all just kind of associate with writing and kind of just do something different. Do something maybe not different in history because there's all types of writing, but something more different than a typical, like something that's you might look at and say, well, what is this, or what does it mean, or I don't understand this right off. But something that you would have to kind of really have a mind to, the more abstract stuff, mind you, really have a mind to kind of figure out what it's trying to convey, basically. So if I'm writing something that's very abstract, I have a kind of an idea in my head. Sometimes I let it flow. Like when I used to draw, I would just draw from the head, and it would come out abstract. But that's kind of how I get my art out, right? So it won't have like a solid picture in my head, right? But it'll be kind of a feeling. And when I'm writing or what I'm creating or whatever, that's kind of how I go. I kind of freestyle, kind of, you know, go, step by step, pedal by pedal. I don't picture the whole tree, but I'm creating the root, and then the base, and then the branches, and then the leaves. So I'm not saying, oh, I want to create this type of tree, but, it comes about in a whole tree eventually, but I don't have just a tree in my mind. And I don't know, maybe if you're an artist or if you're a writer, you understand what I'm saying. Some of my writing is for more of people who are versed in writing or versed in poetry, I guess. But I'm still learning on the poetry component because I've never been a poet. But I guess some of my stuff would be more fitting to be poetry if you were going to categorize it, than prose, because prose is spoken and you can't really, some of my stuff you can't speak. But also, put a comma in that, I also do prose, just because it's more straightforward and it's more something that anybody can understand. So I don't want everybody who comes to my site to have to be like a major in literary arts and the history and everything. But I do like doing that because I kind of want some of my stuff to be an experience, which is why I use pictures. So some of my stuff I want to be an experience. So this is why I write it in the way that I write it. So sometimes you may not understand why the picture connects or what this has to do with that or whatever, but know that there is a meaning for it. Okay? So that's just a little bit on me. So I'm losing my train of thought, stuff going on around me. I'm in my job parking lot right now. Forgive me for that. But I just kind of want to, explain myself a little bit because, it's kind of hard coming out, and doing something different, and people don't really understand what how to take something. So I'm trying to explain, kind of how to take the stuff on my site. And really why I write about beauty is because I'm really a visual guy. I'm really a visual arts guy, and I'm really a philosophical guy. So the beauty part is a lot of, me trying to erase the insecurity we see in ourselves, the insecurity you might see in yourself, trying to really just dive in and deeply dissect and articulate, what is beauty, right? So when you look at a fashion picture and it's a beautiful model, why? What is it about her? What is it? The bone structure? What is this? And with the eyes and what, you ever just look at a picture and you're like, why is this so good looking or whatever? Why is this person so good looking? And it's not really anything that stands out, but something in your mind is telling you that this person is attractive. So that was kind of part of why I started the site, because I had aspirations to be a photographer, which I'm still trying to do and work in eventually, but it's kind of takes a little bit more time and a little more overhead than writing, which is why I do like writing, because the overhead is extremely little, excuse me. And that's kind of just how I am. I like speaking my thoughts. The person I am in real life, the person I am, and if you see me in person, I'm always a person trying to get the good, get you to the real meaning. Why do you do what you do? Why do you hate what you hate about yourself? How do you fix it? What is at the root of people? And really, in a nutshell, what's at the root of us as human beings? Why are we insecure about ourselves but think people are so beautiful? Other people are perfect. Why do we live for this, or why do we live for that? What's at the root of us? And really, in a nutshell, that's really where I'm taking the direction of my site and my writing. What's at the root of us? That's why if you go to my site, I'll touch on like philosophy. I'll touch on religion, because no longer a religious person myself recently, but religion has been at the heart and the root of what we were as human beings, and for a long time, for decades, and it was what people were searching for, because they didn't have the knowledge that we have now. Like the whole thing about right now is we have a lot more knowledge, so we're not as liable to be falling in a trend of following somebody, not on the mass scale, but it's not something that's like the majority like it was back in the day. I'll say that, because you still have people who do follow people, or it might be people you call cults, or they'll follow after a person. And as a person, that's human, because we are searching for reason, we are searching for meaning. So, and if we're coming from a stance of suffering, we're going to try to search for something that explains us. And if we hear an explanation from somebody and it kind of goes into what we might be thinking or goes into something that sounds like a good idea, then we're going to do that. But and that's, why the other part of it, and why people choose to follow, and why other people, may not. And I've always been myself, I've always been kind of an individual. So kind of being a govern to myself. So, but yeah, just wanted to on my lunch break, still working at it, still, day 3, learning more. Seemingly not that bad. Trying to help. It's a good place to work. Kroger distribution. It's not a bad place. They try to really help you here, which is really positive. So, feeling all right. Haven't really did no hard work yet, but it's coming real soon. So, but I feel prepared. I feel like I'm being prepared for it. So, yeah, but besides that, just at work, trying to work at my own personal stuff as well in the little spaces of time that I have. But for anybody watching, I just wanted to take a quick second, even though it really wasn't a quick second, to try to kind of explain what I do and why I do it. So if you watch this, I appreciate it. And if you have time, check out my site, check out my writing. I have Instagram, awolf, and my site is beautyx5s.com. Yeah, so when I have more time, I'll go more into it, but gotta eat right now. So talk to you guys later. Peace.